Hey, welcome to the Wealth and Business Podcast. On this episode, I'm so excited to be interviewing an individual that I've been working with for the last 12 months. And this amazing individual is 19 years old. I literally met him when he was 18 years old. He actually cold marketed me through my Instagram account when he was 17. And he said to me, I want to come and work for you for free. I want to know how to become an entrepreneur. I want to know how to build wealth. And I was really intrigued by the introduction that he made on Instagram. Kind of ignored it for a little while because I was quite busy at that time. It was lockdown. But he kept on in persistence and literally eventually started working with us a couple of months later after I kind of introduced him to our marketing director here at Property Wealth Corporation. So without further ado, I want to welcome Shezad Dilmohamud. Did I pronounce your surname correctly?
Dilmohamud.
Dilmohamud. Good. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, doing good.
You feeling nervous?
A little bit. First podcast, isn't it?
Great. I can imagine it's your first time doing it. So very, very quickly, for those who don't know you, what do you do? What do you do for a living before even, let me use the word, what did you do for a living before actually making up your mind since the age of 17 to wanting to come and work for PWC completely for free, learn the secrets of being an entrepreneur? Unlike a lot of other individuals your age will be thinking about the get-rich scheme, they will be motivated by the wrong things. What did you do before that and what was the mindset?
Yeah, so just before I got in contact with you, it was about a year or so lockdown. I left sixth form and I was looking at always starting my own businesses, and I just thought, what do you need when you start a business? So there's a few skills that everyone needs: sales and marketing. No matter what business you do, you need sales and marketing. They're the core things in your business. So I decided to go out there and learn sales and marketing, and I reached out to you saying, let me do marketing for you, but that was before I even had the knowledge. So obviously you didn't know that, but I decided, let me just learn on the job. And that's how I sort of fell into the world of marketing. So now I've decided to transition into the whole marketing, trying to run an agency, trying to become a social media marketer, trying to just do everything towards digital marketing, as I found that's my passion now.
Okay, wow. So before that, you left sixth form. So what made you leave sixth form and want to become an entrepreneur?
So I've always been very, good when it comes to school. But then when I got into sixth form, I realized that it just wasn't for me. I always thought, let me go to university, do the same normal things. I was doing maths, physics, maths, science, computing. So I just got into sixth form, realized it wasn't for me, got in the bad mindset, and then took a gap from it and really worked on my self-development and realized university is not the only way. There's other ways, and started looking into business.
So at the age of 16, 17, you already had this sort of mindset of wanting to be more, do more, become great, by choosing the entrepreneurship route, which a lot of people would have actually basically not gone for, because most people will obviously go for education and go to university to learn business, but you decided to kind of go through it by apprenticeship, I'll call it, because that's what you've kind of done, right? So is this something that you just nurtured? What literally gave you that mindset to go and learn and to become an apprentice with someone? Because not a lot of 16, 17 years old would have that sort of mindset.
Yeah. So when you're starting out, it's difficult to get yourself, just get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
There's always going to be difficulties. Obviously, when you started your first business, you didn't succeed. This is your what?
Failed so many times.
Exactly. So my idea was, let me go to someone that they're already starting their business, but they're not too far. Obviously, if I went to someone they've got 30 employees, they've done $10 million months or years, they're not going to take on someone that's got no experience. So I looked at someone that's a bit closer to where I was, that is scaling rapidly. So like yourself, I've got someone else introduced me to you. You were just starting out your career. PWC was new at the time. So I was looking into what you were doing, and I thought it'd be a great fit just because I saw how quickly you were building. So it just sort of fit, it just sort of aligned well. And then it was just sort of luck that we got on, and then we started working from there.
Oh, great. So it's quite good to know that the mindset was you saw an opportunity, basically, like how you can actually follow someone who's growing. We're still growing. We're not there yet. We're not even halfway there yet. We're still growing. I'll probably say I've failed so many times in my business career to actually see myself over the last 6 years work so hard and seeing things work in the right way. It's been very challenging. Business is always going to be very, very challenging, but we're making progress every single day. And I'm happy where we are and where we're going because the future is very bright for us. So you being able to join the team really, really made an impact, and he's making an impact, and you learned a lot. But my real question is that there must have been something that you saw, that you learned, apart from let me just go find someone who is scaling very rapidly, that would have actually ignited your mindset. Because most young lads as you would, right now, maybe, we know how England can be, or the actual global, media and economy right now, where there's so much instant gratification mentality. There must have been something that really pushed you to say, okay, let me go and work for free. Even if I don't have any experience, I could get some sort of experience from these people. There must have been something.
So obviously lockdown, everyone was stuck, and that's when I think most people realized that you can't just have a boss or you can't just rely on one job. Everyone got furloughed, they didn't have a job, some people lost their jobs, some people were homeless, and that's when I realized, look, you need to start making something for yourself. Started working on self-development. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad was the first book that I actually read after 10 years or something.
That's a book that's always very, very, very familiar. Everyone
starts off. And in the book, what did he say? He worked for free for that guy. So I thought for his Rich Dad, he worked for free. Take that lesson and do the same thing. There's no point of reading a book if you're not going to do what it says. So that probably was the starting point right there. And as soon as I started taking action and actually doing what these successful people say to do, that's when I saw a change. You can't just read a book and think, something's going to happen, isn't it? So you have to actually put into practice what's been said. So I think that was the turning point there.
Oh, wow. So the power of self-development started from a little book for you. And then you basically put the book to action and chose to come and work for PWC for free.
Yeah.
Wow. This guy, I really like your mindset. If only I hope a lot of 17-year-old, a lot of 16-year-old right now, even 18-year-old, obviously you're 19 now, can actually look at this mindset. Because I think one of the things in life, I've seen a lot of people in this country get it wrong between those ages, 16, 17. And if you look at the news, it's quite an age where you see a lot of people making bad decisions and ending in the wrong places. I've got to give it to you, being able to have that mindset from 16, 17, now you're 19, you basically, have done so well with us. We're so pleased with your growth, your mindset, and we see you as somebody of value within the community now. When you first came, it was completely opposite. And I've seen how much you've really grown within the community as well. And you've not been, you believe on the long time and get rich for sure, not the get rich quick, which I really love about you. Because I think once we understand that life is a journey and business, entrepreneurship is a journey, success is a journey, I think every other thing else can park, right? So just being able to see that growth in you for the last couple of, over 12 months I've been working with you. Actually, we started working, if I'm right, it was probably 2021, early 2021, when we're almost halfway through the year now. So seeing the growth that you've actually experienced and done for us, it's so amazing. So fine, you read that book, you got the amazing nuggets, you implemented it, and you started working for us. So now let's very, very quickly talk about how that has been for you. So you started to work in the marketing aspect of the business, social media of our business, and you are also doing so many other stuff on the back and working very closely with me. And I rely on you a lot. I rely on you on so many things. What has been your greatest lessons working with someone like myself who is rapidly, scaling his business?
Yeah.
What has been your greatest lessons learned so far?
I think definitely would be the thinking of long term. So before I go into business, I thought, okay, you're going to start one business, it's going to be successful. That's just not the case. And I don't think many people realize that until they actually get into the world of business. Like you said, a lot of younger people, they don't understand what it means to actually be an entrepreneur. That's why I say studying business at university will never help you start a business, because you're not actually doing the job. So my greatest lesson here would definitely be thinking long term and getting practical experience. And also, we always preach it, taking action. That's something that you need to do. You can't just, you can pray to God to be successful, but he's not going to just put £1 million in your bank account. He will show you opportunities, so you need to be there to take those opportunities and actually put your foot forward and put your best effort into whatever you do. So taking action, thinking long term.
Absolutely, take action, think long term is part of one of the biggest you've learned with working alongside myself. Now let's go to the entrepreneurship side now. Now again, question is, you've been working closely with myself. What have you learned for yourself in terms of your mindset, your personality, the change in maybe attitude and so on?
Yeah, so always being positive. There's no point being negative. You got to enjoy that journey. Like you said, entrepreneurship's a journey. So a lot of people, they always think, why am I so happy? It's because I'm constantly building towards that future that you have, that you want to have. It's just like yourself. You're not there yet, but you know one day you're going to be there. And a lot of people say that you don't have work-life balance, isn't it?
A lot of people say that, then you don't have life-work balance.
But at the end of the day, you will die happy knowing that you were working towards something for your family, for the better future. So it's just keeping that positive attitude. One little failure is not going to stop you. You just have to keep going.
One of the reasons why I chose to bring you on this podcast to kind of have a chat with you was to kind of literally inspire a lot of people who are about your age or about when you started, 16, 17, 18, which was one of the most challenging time. I've got a 14-year-old now, he loves his game, he loves to play his game. And you have a lot of 16, 17 years old that right now are really passionate about playing game all day and not doing something quite productive into their future and get into unnecessary arguments with their parents. Where I'm from in Nigeria, 18 years is still a child. Right, 18 years you still get told by your dad what to do. Even at 19, 20, you still get told what to do by your parents. But obviously England is opposite. A lot of children at 16, most times you can't literally tell them what to do anymore because they think they know what they need to do now. So for you, what would be your greatest word of wisdom to a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old and somebody that was 16 thinking, what should they do in life? Because it's quite a difficult age as well. It's very challenging because you're not a child, you're not an adult, you're in between, you're trying to figure out your, who you are. And a lot of people lose it, a lot of people get it. So what would be your greatest word of advice?
Is figure out your goals and work backwards. A lot of kids, they say they want to be rich, but they don't actually think, what does it take to get rich? So let's say you want a Lamborghini, so it's £300,000. Work backwards. How are you going to make that £300,000? It's not going to start by you playing games. I used to play games as well. Unless you're amazing at playing this game or you're so entertaining, you've got a following, you're not going to be successful at it. There's sometimes you have to just put something to bed. If you've put however many hours into something and you've not seen any rewards, it's time to let it go, isn't it? So it's definitely work backwards from your goals. But also a lot of entrepreneurs, they like to say school failed us. Entrepreneurship is not healthy in universities and things like that. But that doesn't mean you have to stop learning. So you always should be learning, constantly developing your mindset. Just because it's not in school doesn't mean you're not. Just because you don't want to do school doesn't mean you can't learn. Without learning, you'll never get into business. So constantly develop yourself, work backwards from your goals. And one thing that a lot of people don't say is routine. Constantly waking up every day at the same time, going to bed at the same time, eating at the correct times. Routines help me a lot, especially mentally, something that you need. I feel like routines are key.
Great, routine is the key. So if I was to say what would be one of your most consistent routine, what would that be?
Waking up and going to sleep at the same time. So no matter what, you have to wake up around 6 o'clock is what I do. Wake up around 6 and I'm like an old man. Sometimes I try and get into bed at about 10 o'clock and that's it, I'm off. So.
Wow. a lot of people your age probably might not have this sort of mindset. So really well done on you. Really well done on you. Being able to build a certain mindset. What would you say has actually helped you around this mindset that you have? Like simple thing like routine.
Yeah, routine, 100%. I used to, when I first started with you, I was getting stressed. I was speaking to Kevin. Couldn't sleep. Everything was on my mind, like the next day's task. Obviously, I don't just work here, isn't it? So I've got tasks from here, tasks from other work, constantly thinking. So then the routines will actually help me. Writing down your tasks for the next day, going to sleep and then waking up and looking at that. That's been the biggest help. Because now I don't struggle to sleep. Now I don't struggle to keep up on tasks. You know how it was. I didn't write down my tasks. I didn't have a task board. It was bad, and then that's why I was constantly forgetting things. I was all over the place. So routines help me just keep that balance.
Wow. So people your age, all right, they want to reach. They want to be rich tomorrow, right? They want to make so much money tomorrow. And I remember when you first came, you had the passion that Daniel, I want to become like rich tomorrow in property. Mm-hmm. And I smiled and I said, it's going to take you time. Well, we gradually did introduce you to property. I mentored you in property, showed you love in property that you can do. But why haven't you progressed through to the property side, or actually you chose the management side of social media, becoming, the guy behind, the brand, set up a marketing agency? What moved in between property to social media?
I think I just found out that my passion was more marketing and not property. Obviously for you, your passion is property, so that's why you enjoy it so much. But for me, my passion is marketing. So the way you work on property is the way I'd work on marketing. Doesn't mean that I don't see property as a good investment. It just means that I don't want to be the guy managing it. I don't want to be the guy that started from the bottom in property and worked your way up. It's not easy when you have no money. So my idea is make my money through my passion, and then one day I can start investing in property and
become a passive
property investor. Exactly.
Become a passive property investor.
Exactly.
Great. Wow, Shezad. It's been so amazing having this chat with you. Definitely going to be bringing you back on the Wealth and Business podcast. In one word, if there was to be someone who's listening to this podcast and they say, you know what, I felt motivated by that, I felt inspired by that, what would your one advice be? Secondly, how can you motivate them?
Take action, don't be lazy, and stop being so soft. Everyone's too soft in this generation.
Wow, everyone is so soft in this generation. Do you want to actually explain what that means?
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Everyone makes excuses. I can't do this, I'm tired today, I feel ill. Life doesn't care. Life keeps going. So you gotta keep going as well.
Wow. How can people reach you on social media?
Shezad_CEO Instagram. Just reach me on there.
Great. It's been amazing having you on the Wealth and Business podcast, and I can't wait to see you do more with us. I think we're currently trying to, train you how to become a speaker, so you can speak on, on our events as well to inspire the younger generation. Because right now, I think a lot of kids are out there who can actually be motivated by this. We're going to bring you more on the podcast, but I think 16 years old, 17-year-old, if you're thinking, how can you actually begin your journey as an entrepreneur? You don't have to wait for the government scheme. Reach out to other entrepreneurs like myself, or people who are out there and who are doing well. Go and work for them for free. Yep. All right. You've been working for us for 1 year, right? Over 1 year. Yep. We've not paid you a single dime one day. Mm-hmm. And you paid your own transport to work, paid for your own lunch. That is an unbelievable mindset. Mm-hmm. It's an unbelievable mindset. And now, obviously, after 1 year that you offered to work with us, we've now said, we want to employ you. We want you to come and work for us so we can get, we can pay you a wage. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know how to even describe your boldness, your genuinity, your humbleness. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I just can't wait to be part of your future. Whereby we look back 5-10 years from now, we'll be like, wow, did we do this? And we said, yes, we did. Because they say charity begins at home, right? So I want to say well done to your parents too for raising a man who would also inspire the generation to come tomorrow. So Shezad, it's been amazing having you on this podcast, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Go guys, so if you've been motivated by this, please share this with your friends, share this with your family, share with anyone that you know who's a 16, 17-year-old who's a bit lost, and they can be motivated by Shezad's story. And don't forget as well, we are going to be launching our Wealth and Business Summit in November 2022, and also our networking event is coming up as well very soon. I think the month of March the 30th. So make sure you go and get yourself registered.